Today is day one of the trial of Derek Chauvin, the former Minneapolis police officer charged in the death of George Floyd. KIMT News 3 is in Minneapolis all day, bringing you what you need to know as the trial unfolds.
President Biden's American Rescue Plan clears a hurdle this weekend. I'm KIMT News 3's Jessica Bringe, live with how you can calculate just how much you may make for your next stimulus payment.
I'll take this weather anytime.
A sunny sky and warmer temps call for dining al fresco. Hear from a local brewery about how they're taking advantage of this beautiful weather.
And I'm tracking more mild temperatures as we continue through the week, but it doesn't mean we want to be outside for the entire time. I'll let you know what also I'm tracking coming our way coming up.
KIMT News 3 First at 4 starts right now.
This is KIMT News 3, First at 4. The latest local coronavirus news coverage starts right now.
Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us for KIMT News 3 First at 4. I'm Annalise Johnson. The city of Minneapolis is on edge today as the trial of former police officer Derek Chauvin begins, with a judge recessing the trial. Chauvin kneeled on George Floyd's neck for several minutes before Floyd died, sparking weeks of nationwide protests.
Bro, that's bro. You stopping his breathing right there, bro.
Okay, he's talking.
He's talking. Bro, but you could get him off the ground. You've been a bum right now. You could get him off the ground, bro. You could get him off the ground. You've been a bum right now. He enjoying that.
A charge of third-degree murder that was dismissed in October is now in limbo after an appeals court ruled the trial judge should reconsider a motion to reinstate it. Jury selection in the trial was delayed until tomorrow at the Hennepin County Government Center as the court tries to decide how to proceed with that appeal pending. Once it begins, jury selection is expected to last about 3 weeks. The city of Minneapolis is preparing for more unrest as the trial of Derek Chauvin progresses. KIMT News 3's Brooke Mckivergan spent the morning in Minneapolis as protesters filled the streets with passion and a message of hope.
Today is day one of the trial of Derek Chauvin. That's the former Minneapolis police officer who's charged in the killing of George Floyd. The trial is being held here at the Hennepin County Government Center. You can see here the fences are all secure with barbed wire. The National Guard is here. The Hennepin County Sheriff's Department is here. Law enforcement is just lining the building, and protesters are ready to make their voices heard.
Everybody in the city and around the world is watching.
All eyes are on Minneapolis as Chauvin's trial begins. Protesters started flooding the streets in front of the Hennepin County Government Center before 6 a.m. Peaceful protesters.
There's no reason for hate. There's no reason for war. There's no reason for any of that. We're here with our lives saying, hey, we just want things to be fair. We just want to be treated equally, and we just want justice for George Floyd, but for the people before George Floyd and the people that will come after him if this specific case does not get justice.
Through words
when you see us, we can't breathe.
And music. It's a cry for change, for justice. But Athena says in order for that to happen, we have to start with ourselves.
Because we have to talk about when we're asking them to hold the system accountable, we have to hold ourselves accountable for how we got here, what we're doing to unlearn racism, and what we're doing to move forward. Because we have to move forward as a nation together, and we have to do that with accountability.
In Minneapolis,
justice for George Floyd.
Brooke Mckivergan.
He can't speak for himself, but the city of Minneapolis can speak for him.
KIMT News 3.
Protesters say they'll continue to fill the streets on key dates of the trial, including opening and closing arguments and, of course, the day of the verdict.
The sun is out and about this afternoon. Maybe you were out and about this Monday afternoon. Such a beautiful weekend. KIMT Storm Team 3 meteorologist Sarah Knox joins us now. And Sarah, what are you tracking as we head further into the work week?
Amy, it is another beautiful day in paradise, isn't it? Except for today, the winds are so much less than they were on our Sunday. The temperatures even warmer for some of us. In fact, let's take a peek at them right now. Plenty of green to be seen across the board, and some of us even getting into that light green color. Green means 50s, light green means 60s, and that's exactly what we're seeing. Mason City, Charles City, Forest City at 61 degrees as we speak. Rochester, Preston, Owatonna, 55, plenty more 50s to be found. All of us well above the average. And like I said, the winds dying back down. They're anywhere between 5 to 10 miles per hour. Some of us even less than that. It feels good to be out there. It feels good to be soaking up this sunshine. But as I said earlier on in the newscast, we've got some more mild days on the way, but not all of them will be as beautiful here as today. I'll talk about the changes coming up. So for now, Annalise, pardon me, right back to you.
Thanks, Sarah. Well, check out this view behind me on, there's still Sarah. Well, now check it out, this view behind me on the Rochester Live Eye in the Sky. If you've spent any time outdoors today, you know it's simply gorgeous out. And that is good news for our local restaurants and breweries with patio seating. The patio at Little Thistle Brewing is empty today while the brewery is closed, but this weekend was a different story. Co-owner Steve Finney says the warm weather brought the busiest weekend in months. The brewery hosted special events and beer releases Saturday and was open for the first time Sunday since the business changed its hours due to COVID-19 several months ago. Masking and social distancing requirements were still in place, which Finney says patrons followed without a hitch. Minnesota drinking and dining establishments have gone through waves of opening and closing requirements, but nice weather and a big patio drive in more customers during the pandemic.
Get the outdoor space looking nice. It's still a little wet and muddy in places, but you know, as things dry out, absolutely this is really what we do. We have a nice big outdoor patio, and especially right now, it's the best way to keep everyone safe and outside.
Of course, March in Minnesota always means another snowstorm could creep up on us, and Little Thistle is prepared if that's the case. About 1 week from now, March 16th, is the one-year anniversary of when Governor Walz issued the first order to close restaurants, bars, breweries, and other venues to indoor patrons.
A third round of stimulus checks will likely make its way to the pockets of many Americans soon, although there are some restrictions this time around. KIMT News 3's Jessica Bringe joins us live with how you can see if you are eligible. Jessica?
Amy, if you want to see just how much money you'll make, you can use an online calculator like this one. It may be a little bit hard to see, but I did put in my gross income as $70,000. I put my status as single and claimed 0 dependents. Then when I hit calculate, it does say that I'm likely to get that $1,400 stimulus payment in full. Now, there are some changes to this third stimulus check, including the cap for the full check. That's now at $75,000 for individuals. For heads of households, it's $112,500 and $150,000 for couples filing jointly. Similar to the last 2 payments, some Americans will get a partial check if their income is above the threshold. However, those amounts will phase out faster than the past 2 relief bills.
So the first big change is the cap, where you get any stimulus comes much quicker. $80,000 for individual, $160,000 for filing joint, $120,000 for head of household.
And if you are interested in seeing how much money you're eligible for, we will include a link to this calculator on KIMT.com. Live in Rochester, Jessica Bringe, KIMT News 3.
Thanks so much, Jessica. Other changes include adult dependents receiving the full amount even if they're college-aged or are an older dependent with a disability.
Breaking news, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention just released new guidelines for people who are fully vaccinated. The CDC says people who are fully vaccinated can visit other vaccinated people indoors without masks or social distancing. They can also visit unvaccinated people without masks if that person is at low risk for severe disease. They can also skip quarantine and testing if exposed to someone who has COVID-19 but are asymptomatic, but should monitor for symptoms for 14 days. However, vaccinated people still need to take precautions. They must stay masked and distanced from people at higher risk of severe illness. Protesters rally outside the Hennepin County Government Center as jury selection was set to begin today in Derek Chauvin's trial. Coming up, the latest developments from inside and outside the courtroom.
Welcome back.
Students are welcome back to school with a friendly face. Stick around to find out the percentage of Minnesota schools hitting the books in person.
And here's a live look over the Med City on this sunny Monday afternoon. If the sun will hang around for the rest of the week.